Raga grew up in a traditional, modest South Indian family in Mumbai. After the death of her father, when she was just 6 years old, her mother faced many hardships to bring up her three young children.
I would find it very distressing when my mother would struggle to feed us and work so hard to provide us with basic necessities. Her determination and strength is what I have carried with me all my life.
Raga's aspirations saw her choose advertising as a career, against the wishes of her mother, who was conditioned to believe that all good Catholic girls chose simple careers like being a secretary or a personal assistant.
My life seemed to be in a constant state of conflict, though, with what was expected of me professionally and personally. See, professionally, I was carving a niche for myself, but personally, my life was so confusing. My first crushes were always girls. I hid my feelings deep inside, thinking I was, abnormal. That, intuitively I knew from an early age that to show this side of me would invite ridicule and abuse. During my growing up days, I had absolutely no reference of LGBT lived experiences to help me understand my own feelings. At the age of 21, for instance, I fell deeply in love with another woman, and we had a short love affair, so to say. Neither of us could even imagine the possibility of a long term relationship together. So I did what was expected of me. I married a man, and once again, I buried my feelings deep inside. We had children and we emigrated to New Zealand in 2001 for a better quality of life, as we all do.
Raga went on to excel in New Zealand. She became the first woman to be elected to the board of the prestigious India-New Zealand Business Council. She also won numerous awards for her work in advertising.
While I was in New Zealand, my personal life started falling apart. My marriage was failing. I really tried really hard and I fought, hard against separation. Just to share a bit, my mother, who was visiting me from India during that time, took this breakup extremely badly. Her own fear of shame and scandal in the family led her to do things that left a huge dark hole in me. It's hard to survive the trauma of a mother's rejection.
Raga went on to discover her own true self, now as a single mother in a foreign country. She worked hard at her career and focused on providing for her young twins.
Life was extremely challenging at that time as a single mom. I had slowly started dating women. Word spread like wildfire in the local Indian community, and my dear mother was right. I was terribly bullied, I was abused, and openly shamed. The Indian community in New Zealand made life hell for me.
Despite this, Raga continued exploring her truth. A few years later, when she met her same-sex partner Nicola, they decided to live a very private life to safeguard their family.
People are not always kind. There was intense homophobia. Family in India decided to be in denial about my situation. My workplace at that time in New Zealand was also passively homophobic. I finally quit that very secure job and I said I had enough of that abuse.
Raga started her own businesses, consulting, creating India's first speakers bureau, hosting premium business events, all of which flourished. Nicola and Raga expanded the businesses into India and their businesses grew, but their personal intimate relationship remained a secret.
The funny part was when I would introduce Nicola as my partner, people would conveniently assume that she was my business partner. I realized quickly that people found that acceptance easier. If they denied us our love, our partnership, then it did not exist in their minds. At this stage, I was still worrying about log kya kahenge.
It was only in 2019, at the encouragement of her children, who are now grown up, that she published her first book, Untold Lies, that lifted the veil not only on her sexual orientation, but also the struggles she had to overcome whilst growing up.
My untold lies was hard to write, as I wrote the truth about my mother's rejection and actions in New Zealand and the terrible rejection from her. But I felt it was important to tell the truth about what women like me have to face. Our degrees, accolades, accomplishments, awards are all forgotten. The focus was put on my sexual orientation. Thankfully, I was no longer relying on other people for anything. I no longer worry about log kya kahenge. Kuch to log kahenge. Logon ka kaam hai kehna. I hold my head high and I live my life with pride. Thank you.
Nicola, say yes.
Nicola, say yes, Nicola. Say yes. What an amazing, amazing thing that I've heard from Raga. So come on, Nicola, say yes.
Hey, Nicola, please say yes.
Nicola, say yes. Nicola, say yes.
Nicola, say yes. Nicola, say yes.
Nicola, say yes.